Hello everyone. So far, we studied different types of modulation techniques like ASK, FSK, and PSK, and all were the binary methods. Binary phase shift keying method, binary amplitude shift keying, or maybe frequency shift keying. We call this as binary because individual bits are represented or modulated by changing the phase, frequency, or the amplitude. We also studied one 4-array PSK, that is QPSK, quadrature phase shift keying method, where we made a group of 2 bits in the information sequence, and those group of bits called as symbols are assigned at different phases. We call them as 4-array PSK, quadrature phase shift keying PSK, because the phase variation what we are allocating or changing the phase is quadrature phase, 90-degree phase variations for the combination of bits. So in general, we can call this type of PSK as M-array PSK. We can have a M-array ASK, M-array FSK also. So the topic is actually M-array PSK. That is, there are M possible phase levels for the information sequence. We have to make a group of n number of bits in general, where m is equal to 2 power n. So we are going to study about this particular method, that is M-array PSK, in this video. Now, see, as I told, we have something called as a QPSK here. We have a QPSK method, which is special case of a PSK method, okay, which is referred as M-array PSK. So where m is equal to 4 in this case, and we are going to assign this particular phase in general. In general, for a M-array PSK, this is the phase what we are allocating to group of bits. The group of bits, that is, say m is equal to, this m is equal to 2 power n. So n is the number of bits. If I make a group of 2 bits, I get a 4 phases. If I make a group of say 3 bits, I get a 8 phases. If I make a group of 4 bits, I get a 16, m equal to 16 different possible phases. In general, we get a theta I number of phases, where I goes from 1 to m. As I mentioned here, I goes from 1 to m, and these are the different phases, possible phases. Now say m is equal to 4, that is QPSK. I go back to the example of QPSK. M is equal to 4. If m is equal to 4, in that case I goes from 1 to 4. So if I substitute I equal to 1, this will be 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. If I is equal to 2 here, it is 2 minus 1 is 1, that is 2 pi by 4, that is pi by 4, right? So pi by 4, no, pi by 2, I'm sorry, so pi by 2, that is 90 degree. So first one was 0, the second one was 90, the third one should be 180, and the fourth one should be 270 degree. So 4 possible phases. If I say m is equal to 8, that is I goes from 1 to 8. If I is equal to 1, again it is 0. If I is equal to 2, it is 2 by 8 is 1 by 4, pi by 4. That is the angle what we are going to allocate to the second combination, maybe pi by 4, then is pi by 2, right? So 45 degree phase variations. With this, we get a 8 phases. So it forms one circular where 8 possible phases we will get. I'll show you that signal space diagram in the next slide. So that means, depending on the number of bits, I'll get so many different phases for this. And in that case, any one of the signal is transmitted, m number of signals, out of m number of signals, one signal will be transmitted during the symbol duration, right? We will be having a 2 basis functions to represent those signals, because we are using a 2 quadrature phase carriers, sine and cos, maybe, right? And the signal space diagram will be 2-dimensional signal space diagram. Again, QPSK, we have a 2-dimensional signal space diagram, or maybe m is equal to 8. In that case, also we get a 2-dimensional signal space diagram. In general, it is 2-dimensional signal space diagram, and the transmitted signal is equal to, that is root of 2e by t cos 2 pi fct plus the phase. This is the phase variation. That is 2 pi by m, 2 pi by m, I minus 1 divided by I minus 1, where I goes from 1 to m. So this is the phase angle which is going to vary as the value of that I changes, or maybe m changes. Fine. So where E is the symbol duration and T is the E is the symbol energy, and T is the symbol duration. Now take a special case here. I have taken m equal to 8. This is the signal space diagram for m equal to 8. So this is a one case, this is another case. Same signal space diagram only for m equal to 8. So I have 8 different signal points, I can say, right? This is the one, say m1, this is m2, m3, m4, m5, like that it is m8, 1 to 8. I goes from 1 to 8. Now if it is QPSK, where m equal to 4, I'll get a signal vectors or signal message points somewhere here, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? For m equal to 8, we also get in the axis. Here we also get. So this is your message point m, let us say. Now this will be the decision boundary between the two message points. Between this m1 and m2, this is the decision boundary. Between this and m8, this is the decision boundary. Right? Now consider special case m1, okay, where phi 1, this is phi 1 of t and this is phi 2 of t, the x-axis and y-axis. So two-dimensional signal space diagram, and the coordinates of this particular message point m1 is root of e1 and the other one is 0 only. It is falling in this line itself, right? So that's what I have told here, okay. And the two message points which is very near to this m1 are m2 and m8, these two, right? If there is any error, there is a possibility of decoding or deciding in favor of either m2 or maybe in the favor of m8 because of the addition of the noise in the channel, and if the detector fails to recognize it is as m1 because of the channel error. Okay, now just look at this diagram. Now this is m1, this is m2, this is m8. Now the distance between this, again this actually forms, this is addition boundary, right? This forms the angle pi by m, this is pi by m in general, okay. M is 8 in this case, in this example m is equal to 8, in general it is pi by m. Now what is the distance between this two signal points and these two signal points? We call this distance as d minimum or Euclidean distance. It's called Euclidean distance, okay. The distance between this and this is called Euclidean distance, or it is also called d minimum, or we can call this distance as d12, this distance as d18, as mentioned here. It is given by, it is 2 of root e sine of pi by m. This is the formula, or this is the distance between the two message vectors or two signal points. And the average probability of error is actually given by, in general it is given by any type of, whatever the value of the m is, in general, because as the value of the m changes, the minimum distance also changes. So it's the average probability of error in general for m array system with m equal to more than 4, let us consider, it is 2q multiplied by d minimum divided by root of 2m naught. This is the minimum average probability of error. And if I substitute that d minimum here, this is because I said this is nothing but this is the minimum distance or Euclidean distance between the two message points. If I substitute this formula over here, I will get the formula for average probability of error in terms of q function, as it is nearly equal to 2 times q multiplied by this particular term. Okay, this formula is holds good, we can say, for m more than or equal to 4. And if I substitute m is equal to 4, I go back to QPSK. If I substitute m equal to 4 here, then in that case it is sine pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. This root 2 cancels, so we get a 2q root of e by n naught. This is the formula. Okay, and same formula we have obtained earlier in the topic QPSK. Fine. So before again going to proceeding to the next slide, just look at this again. So this is octaphase shift keying, I can say, because m is equal to 8. 8 phases are possible, so we can call this representation or this method as octaphase shift keying method. And just look at this. The signal space diagram what we have got here is circularly symmetric. It is circular shape and circularly symmetric. The distance between these message points are same. Okay, this is about the signal space diagram or a signal constellation diagram. What is the power spectral density of the M array PSK signal? Okay, so this is just again simple formula I have given, not derivation, no derivation, only the formula. So this is the PSD, power spectral density of M array PSK, is given by root 2e sinc square ft. Okay, where t is simple duration, f is the frequency, and t is given by tb into log of m. Fine. If m is equal to 4, it is 2 tb. If m is equal to 2 binary case, it is t equal to tb only. The symbol duration is equal to the bit interval or bit duration. Okay. Anyway, in general, t and tb is related by this formula. And if I substitute that e equal to 2eb, fine. As say e equal to eb log of m to the base 2. E equal to EB log of m to the base 2 and T equal to TB log of m to the base 2. I can represent in terms of EB and TB also. The same formula for power spectral density. And if I plot this power spectral density for different values of m, say m equal to 2, m is equal to 4, m is equal to 8, as you can see over here, power spectral density, the PSD, the power increases. Fine. The bandwidth decreases. As you can see over here, the bandwidth decreases. That is the advantage of MRA PSK systems. Okay, so we can calculate that channel bandwidth for MRA PSK by using this formula. That is B is equal to 2 divided by T, where T is equal to TB log of m to the base 2. Fine. If I substitute that T, this formula over here, I get a 2 by TB log of m to the base 2, where 1 by TB is RB. Okay, now based on this particular formula, we can also calculate what is called a bandwidth efficiency factor. That means how efficiently we are utilizing the bandwidth in case of MRA PSK. Okay, now that is given by, that is rho is a notation used here, bandwidth efficiency, RB by B. So if I substitute that B, this formula in the denominator, RB cancels, we get a log of m by 2. So the bandwidth efficiency is given by log of m by 2. For different values of m, this table actually shows the different values for different values of m, what is the bandwidth efficiency is. So if m is equal to 2, log of 2 to the base 2 is 1 half, it is 0.5. If m is equal to 4 QPSK, so it is 1, that is log 4 to the base 2 is 2 by 2 is 1. So for m equal to 8, this log 8 to the base 2, it is 1.5. Okay, 3 by 2 I'll get actually, it's 1.5, like that. So as you can see over here, as the value of m increases, the bandwidth efficiency also increases. But the error performance, the probability of error actually decreases. At the expense of error probability, the bandwidth efficiency increases. Now, if you want to maintain the same, the probability of error or error performance, what you need to do is we have to increase the EB by N0 ratio. That is EB, the bit energy. We have to increase the bit energy in the transmitter, okay, to compensate any degradation happens in terms of the probability of error. Fine. So anyway, MRA PSKs are comparatively better to the binary PSK methods. Okay. So in this video, I have explained the concept of MRA PSK. This is how to represent signal constellation diagram. It is circular shaped, right? What is the bandwidth efficiency? These terms, fine. And average probability of error for MRA PSK. So these things I explained in this particular video. Thank you for watching this video.